We're back at Lane's Airbnb. We're gonna film some stuff for his channel, so make sure you guys are following him. Busy day today. After this, heading directly over to a warehouse that I'm super excited about because it's in Tempe. It's close to Arizona State. It's a standalone warehouse with massive parking, 2 garage doors. The only issue is I think it's been pretty beat up inside by the last tenants. They were there for like 10 years, so I'm sure there would be a lot of work that would need to be done in some offices and also locker rooms and cleanup and stuff. But it's a super cool location. It's actually across the street from some Porsche restoration thing. How cool would it be to have like a 1960s Porsche redone, rolling in like James Bond? I don't know if that'll ever happen. But today also, I'm thinking we're gonna need to train some bicep occlusion too. Typically Wednesday or Thursday's my hit day, where I just do some crazy intense hit. But after that pump in the legs that we did with the occlusion training yesterday on quads, I might need to do that for biceps and then hit some hamstrings too. But yeah, looking forward to this. And then tonight we're gonna grub. We're gonna go get some sushi. Does that work? Are you a sushi fan?
Sure, yeah, I can do sushi.
You like sushi?
I'm not picky.
We go sushi or steak, one of those two. Per usual, running 5 minutes late. I constantly just run 5 minutes late to everything. I don't love that, but it's a product of being busy. So we are gonna roll over to this Tempe gym location. Hopefully it's solid. I kind of gave Matt, my real estate guy, kind of an ultimatum, like, hey, if I don't have a gym, I will have a place, a gym spot by the time I go to Australia, with or without you. So I'm gonna use other realtors and I kind of felt bad saying that, but it's just, my mentality right now is go, go, go. Like, you gotta work your butt off for me because I'm working my butt off and I'm paying you to do it. So I'm trying to kind of light a fire under Matt. We'll see how he's doing today. He did find this location and it looks pretty cool. So we're gonna see if they'll allow a gym in there. This could be new home. I don't know, let's see it. This building here is pretty sweet. It's kind of out of the way. Look at that. Lots of parking though. We could do all sorts of cool camps out here. I'm thinking the inside though is gonna be a nightmare because the same owner or the same tenant had been there like 10 years and they were shipping manufacturing, so it could be beat up, but it's a good price and it's in a good location, really close to ASU. So we'll go give it a go.
Looks like there was some kind of door.
Yeah, I think there was. This area right here would be kind of cool in here because that could eventually be, you could ship clothing out of there. So we're gonna be doing a streetwear line and just ship clothing out of there. Massive gym. Warehouse space about 9,000? Is there about 9,000 warehouse space?
Yeah.
A little bit more, yeah.
Yeah, about 10,000.
Right now there's a lot of stuff in here. It's hard to kind of switch that and envision, you know, all the equipment in here in certain areas. Biggest thing right now is a locker room and then a little kitchen area. We'll go look at it when the Vanilla Gorilla gets here.
Vanilla Gorilla gets here.
Thanks, Matt. Really came through, buddy. Hey, appreciate you.
Hey, appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
We're almost there.
We're almost there. That space was pretty cool in terms of just a raw space, but a lot of work. I feel like I'm on House Hunters International here with this shiz. It would be an interesting amount of TI work inside that I would want the owner to pay for, and at 11,000 square feet in Arizona, the heating bill on that would be a biatch. But the parking lot, you could do a lot of cool stuff out here, and I think I could also maybe wall off an area for some clothing stuff. Yeah, I do think Joe Rogan would be, we're talking about places.
Joe Rogan
Lane,
ducking me.
Joe Rogan,
ducking me.
You need to get Lane
Come
on there.
Joe.
We're talking about, you know, how sugar has been demonized, and I was saying to Lane, do you think that most people don't know how to track macros or just don't do it? So I was saying, you know, like, yeah, sugar, you know, for the average day person, it just makes them crave more sugar. They're not counting macros, so at the end of the day, they are still, like, they're so afraid that if they have any sugar, you know, they're gonna go off the wall. But Lane was saying some smart.
Yeah, I mean, like, one of the things is, you know, I think the overall message of, like, so let's say take something like paleo, right? Eat more meats, less processed food, more fruits and vegetables. Overall message is fine. But when you start demonizing foods and you say you can never have sugar, you can never have dairy, you can never have whatever legumes they're against, you know, some of these things, like when it becomes a religion, that's when I have a problem with it. Because yeah, sugar has some downfalls and then it's not very filling. It's going to leave you, you know, a little bit, like if you're eating most of your foods from sugar, you're going to be hungrier, you're not going to be as fulfilled. You know, so yeah, you want to eat enough fruits and vegetables.
So you're going to eat over your macros, basically, is what it comes down to.
Exactly. And my problem with it is the demonization of foods. Because listen, when I went to grad school, I wanted to find magic foods. I did, like, because if I found magic foods, shit, dude, I'm gonna be rich.
A gazillionaire, yeah.
I'm rich, right? And I remember sitting at a party for the Division of Nutritional Sciences at the University of Illinois, and one of the professors over there who did a lot of research on high fructose corn syrup, which has been demonized in the media, right?
Yep.
And the other professor and him were talking, and he said, you know, yeah, you know, high fructose corn syrup. The professor who did the research on it says, you know, it doesn't seem to be any more lipogenic than you know, other carbohydrate. And the other professor goes, well, that can't be true. Like, look at, you know, what about these? He said, yeah, well, the people just overconsume calories.
Right.
And this is a guy whose whole life was based off of research on high fructose corn syrup.
Interesting.
You know?
So all those, you know, forks over knives, or I don't know. There's so many on Netflix that I've seen, and I leave thinking, oh my gosh, I have to cut out this, and that. And if I ever have hydrogenated oils or high fructose corn syrup, it's like I'm just ruining my body. And I agree that, again, getting back to the fact that those things are gonna, I think it's undernourish your body. So again, if that's all you ate,
well, you want to limit them.
Yeah, you're gonna be there's no micronutrients, you could also say, in terms of they're not
minimal. But you know, you gotta think about this, like with nutrition, everything is nourishment, right?
Right.
It's calories, it's nourishing, but you know, what are you getting along with it? But you know, like you said, like we've talked about, if you take care of all your, you know, it's a budget. So if you take care of your mortgage and your retirement, all the responsibilities, and then you've got money left over, then you can blow it on fun stuff, right? So food's the same way. Like if you're eating enough calories that, hey, you get enough fiber in, you hit your protein and fats, or you hit your protein, you hit your overall calories, you know, you get your micronutrients in, those sorts of things. If you got 200 calories left over to go blow on some ice cream or some Skittles or whatever, then what's wrong with that? You know?
And I think that's the kind of the, you know, in all the takeaway messaging from these, like those documentaries you see on Netflix, it's the people that have success stories. What have they done? They've cut their calories.
Yeah, and that's why, you know, ketogenic diet, yes, it was funny, I posted on Twitter, and I posted a study that showed that when you equate for calories and protein, that a ketogenic diet does not have a metabolic advantage over a non-ketogenic diet. It's not any better. Now, what somebody replied to, so that's what I say. What people hear is, Lane said keto doesn't work. So I had a guy message me or tweet at me and said, well, I lost 50 pounds on keto. I said, well, of course you did. You cut out calories and you were consistent with it. And I didn't say it didn't work.
Right.
What I said was it wasn't better. Now, was it better for you? Like, were you able to be more consistent with that? Is that more sustainable for you? If so, then it's better. Mm-hmm. But if that's something that you just can't stick to, because I want to see him in 5 years. Right. Like, can he continue to follow that ketogenic diet for 5 years? So,
and there are some people I feel like that just they have addictive personalities, and some people out there, if they're gonna have that, you know, and I'm kind of one of them, they have those addictive personalities that if they feel like they're not limiting themselves, they have no control over their life. They have no control over, and there are some foods out there that obviously elicit a response, correct me if I'm wrong, that are gonna make you hungrier. If you eat those things in too much quantity, they're gonna leave you unsatisfied, as opposed to eating something with more fiber in it. And that's, I think, what Lane's getting at, is like there are, no matter how you shake it or dance it, you can't get away from the fact that calories are calories, and when you eat a certain amount, they will affect your body no matter what, if you're eating those amounts.
You don't defy the law of thermodynamics.
Right.
And again, like I said, you know, I don't have any problem with, you know, people saying that, like, yes, sugar has some definite downsides and this sort of thing. What I don't like is people, you know, these documentaries or these people that have come on Rogan, and Joe, I love you. Like, I love your show. I listen to your show even before all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Other people are the ones who are like, Lane needs to go on there.
Yeah.
But what I don't like is this demonization of foods, of that somehow it is just inherently bad. That it's not a calorie thing, that the sugar is just inherently more lipogenic, which is just, it's not true. The research isn't there to suggest that, you know, and I used to think that, you know, and I looked at the research and I'm sorry, it just wasn't there, you know? I always tell people, don't hate me, hate the data.
All right, we're gonna get Lane on Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, he's a big fan. I'm a big fan. We love what you're about. Get this guy on there.
And I'm saying, I think Joe, like one of the reasons I want to be on there, I'm not interested in being on with zealots.
Yeah.
Right? I want to be on with somebody who's a smart individual who actually listens. I think Joe's a smart guy. I think his show would fit well. Libertarian Joe, so see, like we'd be good. But
Make America science again.
Make America science again, Joe Rogan.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go get my scraping done now. Let's open up that that can of worms too. You guys can tell me what you think about
tweet
bourgeois.
at Joe Rogan.
Yes, tweet at Joe Rogan. The bio lane needs to get on there. We're putting some flexible dieting to the challenge here. So we're at my favorite poke spot, maybe in the world. It's here in Arizona. Who thought Arizona has the best poke? Gonna keep things. I'm gonna try to guess the macros. We're gonna sit down and Lane's gonna write down what he thinks I have, and I'm gonna write it down, and we're gonna compare notes. We're gonna try that. See how it goes. How are you? Can I do white rice? Yes. Regular, please. I'm just gonna go regular. Can you try to do we're gonna try to do a cup of rice if we can. So yeah. We do, yeah. I think it's about a cup, maybe a little bit, just a tiny bit more. Perfect. That right there, I think is a cup. I'll take red onion. You see, you think it's about a cup, Lane? And I got a smaller bowl.
I'm not telling you what I think.
All right. 2 scoops. Are any of them just fish with no marinade or anything? I'll do the tuna and yellowtail. I'm saying that's about 2 ounces each. So actually, can I do one more scoop? I know it's extra. Can I do an extra scoop of the tuna? So I'm saying that's now 6 ounces of fish. 2 ounces of the scoop, I'm saying here. Lane, I got a napkin for you. We got a pen here. I have 2 scoops of tuna, 1 scoop of yellowtail, the rice, cucumber, seaweed salad, a couple edamame, and that's really it. So we're gonna treat this like Jeopardy. You have the final Jeopardy where you write down your final answer. Ready? You're gonna do macros and I'm gonna do macros and we're gonna see.
On your dish.
I'm gonna do them on my dish, just my dish, yep. And
I'm gonna do it on your dish too.
Yep.
And then mine as well.
Okay, I'll do it on yours and then we'll do it on both.
Eric, check out.
Okay, I like it. We're gonna do this right now. We're gonna set this up and then I gotta go get scraped here. Handing the pin to Lane. I'm gonna show you guys real quick what I am thinking. This is just on my dish.
On the left, this is Steve's right here. This is my value for Steve. This is my value.
That's yours. Okay, what did you have on mine?
All right, I said.
How much protein?
I rounded to 5s. So
Okay, I like that.
I said 35 grams of protein.
I said 42.
So relatively close.
That's pretty damn close.
50 grams of carb.
55 grams carbs.
Nice. And 5 grams of fat.
And I said 9. So the thing I like about that is me being prep mode, I'm gonna be cautious on the side of over.
Yes.
So I can appreciate the fact that I'm always gonna want to be over, like when I come in, I don't want to underguess myself, I want to overestimate on how many carbs I've had. But really, we were within 5 on everything.
Pretty much, yeah. Within
7,
10.
I guess 7 on the carbs.
On the fat.
On the protein, yeah.
Within 5.
But that's not a lot of protein. He's right on that. I was figuring about 2 ounces a scoop. Not a lot of protein at all on this thing.
I think you're probably close. You know, it might be like 37, 38.
Did you do yours here too?
Yeah.
You know,
So,
I'm gonna look at yours here too.
Yeah,
So we're gonna look at
so I
these
have
now.
I have a scoop of tuna, a scoop of yellowtail,
Okay.
white rice, and the only thing really different off mine was I had this crab salad here.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, that's pretty much the only difference.
And the only reason I thought I went a little bit higher on fat is because because I looked up the seaweed salad one time on MyFitnessPal, and I don't know what it was, but I think it's because the place where I looked it up at must have an oil that the seaweed is mixed with. That was the only reason I went higher on fat.
Could be, and I went higher on fat with mine because the crab salad looks like it could be a little more fat in there, you know.
So I'm gonna go yours here. I'm gonna go. How many scoops did you say?
Just 1 scoop of that crab. 2 scoops of protein.
2 scoops of protein on each or both? Just 2 total?
2 total.
All right.
My chopstick skills are legendary, by the way. I can eat soup with chopsticks. Steve's concentrating.
All right. I said on lanes, 33 grams protein, 60 carbs, and 11 fat.
So I said 30 protein, 60 carb, 10 fat.
Boom.
So right on the money.
That is as simple as it needs to be. If you guys didn't know this too, wasabi is totally negative calories because it speeds. I can't even talk to bro science right now. I was gonna say wasabi is totally negative calories because the heat speeds up your metabolism. Not true. I am at my favorite spot, movement restoration, to get some scraping done on my back. Yep. Cupping and scraping done. Let's see what we're looking like back here. Oh, that's bad. Ew, those two right there. Guys. Oh, yo, what did I just do? So this is cupping, and if you guys watched the Summer Olympics this year, you see Michael Phelps had some cupping marks. That side's not. That's pretty gnarly right there. This whole side, we even did it to my pec, right there. That's the scraping. That hurt like a mofo. And then of course, that bad boy. So again, scraping, kind of you push it one way, the cupping sucks all the tissue up. Oh, hopefully it releases some of that. My whole left trap is all tight and constricted right now. Whew. Worst pain ever, part 2. This actually probably hurt more than anything else. That right there, she just takes it and scrapes. The best thing about getting cupped or scraped is all of the people giving you looks as you walk by wondering, what is wrong with that guy? What kind of skin disorder does he have? You know what though? I will say this, go research it, go look it up. It obviously works. I feel the last time I got scraped, it was crazy. It was so much relief and tension from my neck. And that was the only thing. I got massaged, I got everything, foam rolling. It was the only thing that worked. Obviously, Michael Phelps is doing it. I'm gonna say it's probably pretty decent. If the most winning Olympic swimmer of all time is getting it done, you might want to look at having it done as well. Go today. Scraping done. Took Lane back to Courtney's place. They're doing a little bit. She needs some guidance, I think, sometimes on flexible dieting stuff. She wants to get more into that. She's never had much experience with that, so they're going over some stuff. So Chandler and I having a little business meeting. It's been a little bit difficult. We used to live together in LA. Now in Arizona, neither one of us have places yet. So we're trying to stay on top of the YouTube, programming, just organizing in general. And it's not as easy, obviously, when you don't live together. So at Barnes & Nobles, because we like to break a mental sweat as well. I have a photo shoot in a week. These better be gone. Really taking full advantage of hitting macros today. Ate at that sushi spot, the poke place, Chick-fil-A. It's because Courtney and Lane are filming at her house right now, so I didn't want to interrupt that. Could not have done this my last prep. I would have been beating myself up and probably would have binged. So now I know it's just about making the smartest choices I can. That budgeting, really it's that budgeting idea that I can do whatever I want with that money. It's just when I take away from one area, I have to be, you know, a little bit more sensitive. Like I can't eat this. You know, I couldn't eat that for every single meal today. If I eat a bunch more carbs earlier on, I'll have to pay for it later. A bunch more fat, whatever. You know what you have, and then you just count the macros. So I got the grilled Cool Wrap and the grilled nuggets. Chick-fil-A, freaking love you.
We're a podcast for Physique Science.
I have a question for you, Lane.
Yes, sir.
How often do you use measuring cups instead of food scales? Like
Never.
Never.
Only when I'm traveling and forgot my food scale.
Good question to ask, because sometimes I'm like, really, what is the difference if I just weighed everything out from cups? And I think, I thought Lane was going to answer, well, it's really about just knowing that if you do it on a less accurate method, you can't be as worried about how you're going to look. Like you pretty much said the entire time. Like, if you're generally counting macros, then you'll generally be pretty tight. But if you're dialed in to the point and you get kind of OCD with it, you'll be leaner.
Well, I think one of the things I would say is I just think a scale's easier, to be honest. You just set something on it, put it in, don't mess it weighs, right? Whereas these, you're like trying to get it out, and you got to clean it and all that kind of stuff. Like
What do you think you use more?
I use a scale more.
You use a scale more. You've been using a scale a lot more this prep, huh?
I have. I used to do everything else. I know. I used to do everything else like by cups, like third cup rice, but really now I do it like by grams. Like that's just like 60 grams, and just kind of go from there.
And for those of you guys that weigh things before you cook them, I don't know. I did that back in the day. That can get mind-boggling. Like if you weigh your chicken and then cook it, and then have to divide it out again, it gets a lot of math.
It's one of those things where it's the important thing is that you weigh it the same way every time.
Right.
Like if you've been used to weighing it cooked, you weigh it cooked. Now, the nutrient, like when it says 4 ounces chicken, 23 grams of protein, that's for raw. That's uncooked. Now, good general rule of thumb with meats, as long as you're not overcooking it, it tends to lose about 25% of its weight when you cook it, right? So a serving of chicken, which is normally 4 ounces, would be 3 ounces cooked.
Right.
So that's a good general rule, and for most people that'll work pretty well.
I just like finding it in my macro calculator, or my app, as cooked grilled chicken. And
That works too.
I just roll with that.
Not divided 100 times. I'm not about that math life. I would never be able to do that. Straight up.
All right, I'm gonna have.
Some pretty good macros on that, a little higher in fat, but.
I got a little bit of fat to work with, guys. Pretty much my whole day, except for breakfast, has been out and about. I'm not gonna stop now, so it's perfect. When I start feeling overwhelmed with all the stuff going on, what I do, besides look at houses here in Arizona, nope, I'm looking at helicopter tours of the Hawaiian Islands. Because me and Courtney on Sunday will take a helicopter ride. We're probably gonna leave Monday for Australia, but I'm taking this little green-faced gal on a helicopter ride. Probably have a photo shoot Sunday morning. I'm looking forward to a macadamia nut sticky bun. Like that's what I want to have. Courtney's actually gonna be making me a pancake right now. These pancakes are super low in carbs. And 9 times out of 10, I end my night with one of these. This or protein ice cream, but I'm cutting out a lot of artificial stuff. Not protein powder, but cutting out all the artificial flavors from BCAAs and everything I get. I feel like I'm getting too much right now because I'm trying to cut calories but still have flavor. So I'm using a lot of artificial stuff that needs to get cut back. So pancake?
Yes, baby.
I'm gonna be over here looking at Hawaiian helicopter tours. We need to do some things in Australia too. So give me some ideas. Koala? You wanna put a koala? We can do that I think in Melbourne.
Yeah.
I held a koala one time.
So cute.
Yeah, the koalas. I've heard an awful lot of bad things about koalas, which I don't think are true. Leave below if you know what I'm talking about. No, not that they're mean. All I know is they sleep and eat. And there's one other thing. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Sleep and eat. I wish we did that. Today's just been go, go, go. So Courtney's probably had as busy of a day as I have.
Don't get me in this. Don't get me right now.
You're wearing that Swoldier Nation top. That's my girl. Say Swoldier Nation. Swoldier Nation. It's for dorks.
Like a freak.
It's like 10:30. I want to go to bed, but I want this pancake more.